Good morning, beloveds. I'm trying to make sure that I can see so I can read. My glasses were filthy. So, hazards of, I don't know what it is that I do when I guess because I'm sweaty from working out, and I don't know, but they were just, I picked them up and went, oh, wow, yeah, can't see. So, I found out what all that noise was yesterday. There's a tree right on the property line, but it's actually our neighbor's tree. And it is one of those with a very nice umbrella spread to it. And it's basically had grown over the sidewalk and was, you couldn't park in front of it because it was, and we had trimmed some of it off so that you could get on the sidewalk. Well, whoever owns the house paid somebody to come and butcher the tree. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to call it. They butchered the tree. They could have trimmed it a little less aggressively, but yeah, I know it's a rent house next to us now, so we'll see who our new neighbors are. All right, so it is August 18th, but that's why you got to see a different room in my house yesterday. They were super noisy. It is August 18th. And our title is Not Tomorrow, But Today. I Have What I Want. And our quote is, now that we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God. And that is 1 Corinthians 2:12. The future is bright with promise, but only in this day can the infinite spirit reveal itself to man. God at this moment is the reality of this moment. I have faith in the future, but I must act wisely in the present. My right and loving action in this day is my spiritual insurance for tomorrow. God is forever the same, so all of God is where I am and is now available to me. I start bringing to pass my hopes of the future by acting upon them today. God's idea of me includes my success right now. If God does not procrastinate, then I shall no longer do so. My demonstrations of truth are now taking place, and I rejoice in their appearance. Today, the unlimited health of God is mine today. Today is the unlimited abundance Let me try this again. Today, the unlimited health of God is mine. Today, the unlimited abundance of God is mine. Today, the unlimited love and peace of God are mine. These I affirm as present facts, and I expect immediate results. I dismiss all beliefs that take time to accomplish what I want to do. I know that mind acts through my consciousness as I determine it shall act. I have decided that God's action is mine now, and my demonstration is not only in process, it is now completed. I accept with thanksgiving the full demonstration of my heart's desires. Jesus healed instantly those who came to him. He fed thousands in a few minutes. The mind that acted through him acts through me with the same abilities. Knowing this, desired experiences follow. Affirming this, results appear on every hand. Each moment is filled with expectancy, for my faith is complete, and all impediments in my thought are now removed. Heaven is where I am, and evil does not exist. I have what I want, and I am that person God wants me to be. Well, okay, so that last line kind of smacked you upside the head. I am the person God wants me to be. Who does God want you to be? Well, the good news is God wants you to be exactly who you are. The interesting news is God wants you to be who you are in the qualities of God. which means love and creativity and harmony and joy and happiness and strength and prosperity and all of those qualities. That's who God wants you to be. God wants you to be exactly who you are in those qualities. So that's why I call it the good news and the interesting news, because it's not bad news. It's not bad news. The fact that God wants us to be happy and joyful and peaceful and creative and all of that, and loving and all of that, that's not bad news. Why I call it interesting news is because sometimes, or actually most of the time, it requires something of us. It requires us to act in those qualities. It requires us to be loving all the time. All the time. And some days, we just wake up and we wake up grumpy. I'm having one of those days. I have not been sleeping well. And so I am waking up grumpy. Now the good news is if I get up and I go and I move my body in whatever way that is, it will generally work some of the grumpiness off. Actually, it works a lot of the grumpiness off, because I know when I showed up at the with the trainer today, I was just straight up, I was beyond grumpy. I was just angry. I woke up angry. I just woke up angry at the world, and I was just like, yeah, but he got me moving in doing things that are hard. Heavy lifting, complicated moves. He had us doing rounds today. And so, and nobody likes doing squats. I don't think anybody likes doing squats, but honestly, I think I'd rather do timed squats than have to do, 10. He asked us to do like 30. So I feel a whole lot better. And a run will do the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why I encourage you to engage your mind and your body. Because when you wake up grumpy, then you go out, you do something, you engage your body, you give your body something to do that will allow your mind to rest. And then you can get into the qualities of God. Then you can be who God knows you to be. You can be that beautiful, peaceful, loving, wonderful person that you already are. Because you've worked off whatever it is that is going on. So it's like, if you do catch one of those moods, because they are catching, go do something to engage your mind and your body and see if it doesn't make you feel better. And then see if you aren't a little bit better about being who God wants you to be. The other thing that he said in here that just really struck me, because the title is Not Tomorrow But Today, I Have What I Want. But he says, I have faith in the future, but I must act wisely in the present. And which means that we take that inspiration of God, of spirit, whatever you want to call it, and we do now that will prepare for the future. So we understand, and this is science of mind, we understand the concept of cause and effect. Because God is first cause, and everything after that. But we are also causes in our life, and what the actions that we take will have ripples into our future. They will have effects. And so if we act wisely, and we can absolutely act wisely because we have access to the infinite mind. Because all of God, as the gentleman said in here, it is, I know I say Ernest a lot. This was also Raymond Charles Barker. So the gentleman said, all of God is present everywhere all the time, which means you and I have access to all of God, all of that infinite mind right now. Right now. So we can act wisely and let that ripple into our future. And then, because we are acting wisely by using the infinite mind, we can have faith in the future. All right, so not tomorrow, but today, I have what I want. And then the Corinthians, and the Corinthians is one of those where it's kind of that spiritual 2x4. Now that we have received, not the spirit of the world. So we're not talking about the material, but the spirit which is of God. So which does include the material. Okay? It includes the material, but it's not just about the material. So now that we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of God, that we might know that things are freely given to us of God. God is always available. Always available. It is our responsibility to one, to ask, and two, to use. So it's like, I'm going to go to God and I'm going to say, this is what I want. And God's going to go, okay, here's all the resources that you need to get that. I have to take the action. It is God's action through me, but I still have to move, which is one of the reasons why we say treat and move your feet. Treat. But as Dr. Viljoen said the other day, we can't just sit on our couch and think pretty thoughts. We sit on our couch, we think the pretty thoughts, and then we go make them happen. It's like, we're going to go happen to the world. Okay, so that was 1 Corinthians 2:12. The future is bright with promise, but only the future is bright with promise, but only in this day can the infinite spirit reveal itself to man. That's about living in the present. God can only reveal itself to you today. And then when tomorrow becomes today, God will do it again. Okay, so God will reveal himself to you every day. But it can only do it in the moment. God isn't bound by time. We are. God at this moment is the reality of this moment. I have faith in the future, but I must act wisely in the present. I have access to all of God right now in this moment. And therefore, if I make use of that, that will ripple into my future, and I have faith. My right and loving action in this day is my spiritual insurance for tomorrow. My right and loving action today ripples forward into the future. Spiritual insurance, who knew? And the good news is the spiritual insurance doesn't cost you anything except a little bit of time and a little bit of faith. That's what spiritual practice is. Your spiritual practice is building up that spiritual insurance. That's why we talk about spiritual practice. That's why we think it's so important. Because that is building up your spiritual insurance. That is building up that bank up. That is building up so those mornings when you wake up grumpy, you go, you cash in that insurance. You go, okay, you know what? Let me go and do. Because this is not the way I want to feel. This is not the way I want my day to go. God is forever the same. So all of God is where I am and is now available to me. God is the same because God is not bound by time and space. So all of God is available right here, right now to you. I start bringing to pass my hopes of the future by acting upon them today. Treat and move your feet. You will always be guided by God. You just have to be willing to listen. God's idea of me includes my success right now. God's idea of you includes your success right now. God wants you to be happy. God wants everybody to be happy. If God does not procrastinate, then I shall no longer do so. Okay, I am a little bit of a procrastinator. That one was pointed directly at me this morning. If God does not procrastinate, I shall no longer do so. My demonstrations of truth are now taking place, and I rejoice in their appearance. Okay, so the next series of lines are power statements affirmations. They are excellent. Pick the one that makes the most, is of the most use to you. Today, the unlimited health of God is mine. Today, the unlimited abundance of God is mine. Today, the unlimited love and peace of God are mine. Okay, pick anyone or pick all of them. But if there's one in particular that speaks to you, then lean on that one today. Say it to yourself. Write it down. Post it somewhere where you can see it every time you need it, until it's burned into your mind and burned into your soul. These I affirm as present facts. Not in the future. Now. Unlimited health, unlimited abundance, unlimited love and peace are mine. Because they are of God and I am of God, you are of God. They belong to you. So to these I affirm as present facts, and I expect immediate results. If you state that with all of the feeling in you, it'll change the way you feel. And that is the start of the path. Because then you'll make decisions differently. Or not necessarily differently, but with more oomph. Yes! I dismiss all beliefs that take time to accomplish what I want to do. I know that mind acts through my consciousness as I determine it shall act. Mind acts through me. I'm going to use the word control even though I'm not a big fan. I have control. So the mind, the infinite mind, is filtering through me, through you, and you have a say on how that comes through you. Okay? You are not an automaton. You are not a robot. You have a say on how that mind acts through you. Make your desires known. State your facts. You determine how it shall act. I have decided that God's action is mine now, and my demonstrations are not only in process, it is now completed. God isn't bound by time. So that means that what it is that you state is already done in God. How quickly it gets done in you, that's up to you. That is up to you. God isn't a procrastinator. It's about your willingness and your willingness to accept. I accept with thanksgiving the full demonstrations of my heart's desires. Jesus healed instantly those who came to him because they believed and he believed. If he hadn't believed and they had believed, it still would have worked. The question becomes, if they hadn't believed and he had, would it have worked? Jesus healed instantly those who came to him. He fed thousands in a few minutes. The mind that acted through him acts through me, acts through you with the same abilities. Jesus said to the disciples, all of the things I have done and more you will do. Because we all use that same mind. Knowing this, desired experiences follow. Affirming this, results appear on every hand. Each moment is filled with expectancy, for my faith is complete, and all impediments in my thoughts are now removed. That is a big one. That is a big one. It's like we can state it all we want, but we have to focus on it and not look at the things that will detract from it. We got to let that go. Gotta let that go. Heaven is where I am. Evil does not exist. I have what I want. And I am the person that God wants me to be. So you know what the mission today is? Do you hear it? Our mission today is to be the person that God wants us to be. Our mission today is to go back to God's idea of us. And God's idea of us includes peace and love and happiness and joy and creativity and all of that. That's God's idea of us. The truest idea of God, of us, is love. Because we were made by God, from God, in God. We were made by love, with love, in love. That's God's idea of us. So that's the mission today. I would love to say the mission today is not to be a procrastinator. But that may be a personal mission. I also, as I always do, encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it looks like. How big or how small it is, it doesn't matter. Practice that loving, kind compassion on yourself because you deserve it. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. You deserve your own loving, kind compassion. And the more you practice on yourself, the more you bank it up. You know that spiritual insurance I was talking about? Practice makes permanent. So the more loving, kind, and compassionate you are to yourself, the more you will have to share. That's how we make a world that works for everybody. That's how it is. All right, beloveds. Along with that, I do encourage you, as I told you earlier, do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever it looks like for you today. Go for a walk, go for a run, go weightlift. Take a nap. That's a loving, kind, compassionate. But engage your mind and your body. It works. It works. There's nothing better for lifting a mood than, it doesn't even have to be a brisk walk. If you can get to a park and go for a walk, breathe in the trees, well, unless you have allergies. You might want to check the pollen count in that case. But go get that face full of sun. 5-10 minutes first thing in the morning. It will really help your energy. And it does help you sleep at night. I've been reading the research. Mine is hormonal, I'm quite sure. So, all right. Drink plenty of water and know that you are loved. All right? Know that you are loved. And while everything else is going on, open the windows of your soul. Allow that breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. As Emma says, look for the good and praise it. Because the more good you look for, the more you see, the more there is. All right? So do what you need to do to make it a wonderful day, a fantastic day, an amazing day. You know what? That's too much pressure. You are welcome to have a good day or simply a day. But know you're loved. All right. It is Wednesday. That means that the Living Science of Mind book study is today. I believe that's on Zoom. So if you are interested in that, the other book study is on Monday nights, and there is a prayer circle tomorrow, in case I forget that. Email info@creativelife.org to get those links that'll get you into the book studies and the prayer circles. Reverend David should be on Facebook Live around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, to have a good day, to have the best day you can, and know that you're loved. Know that you're loved. And you can always catch us on YouTube. Creative Life Spiritual Center, or mine's the Running Rev Ryan. On the Running Rev Ryan. Yep, that's where all of these go eventually. I'm a little behind. I'm always a little bit behind, but it is the way it is. All right, beloveds, I will talk to you tomorrow.